So far we've talked about congruency in angles and side measures, and so now we're going to talk about how this applies to different figures. This is the main idea of the entire lesson. You want to make that big, put a big circle around it in your notes. If all the corresponding sides and angles of two polygons are congruent, then the polygons are congruent. You can take these two as an example. Even though they're rotated, these two figures are congruent. Their corresponding sides, such as this 4 and this 4, or this 3 centimeter side and this 3 centimeter side are congruent, and its angle measures are congruent. The 90-degree angles are congruent. The 120s, the 110s, the 130s, those are all congruent. Therefore, these two pentagons are congruent. In triangles, we have a special rule that's kind of a shortcut to proving that these are congruent. It's called the side rule. You're going to look more into this and actually prove this rule whenever you take geometry in high school. And you'll learn about other rules that are similar to this that apply to triangles. The side rule states, in triangles, if the corresponding sides are congruent, then the corresponding angles will always be congruent. This only applies to triangles. Think about a rhombus and a square. You could have a rhombus that has side lengths that are all 5 centimeters and a square that has side lengths that are all 5 centimeters, but those two figures are not congruent because their angles are different. In a triangle, if all of the sides are congruent, you don't have to worry about the angles because the side rule says if the side measures are congruent, then the angle measures will also be congruent. So since the corresponding sides are congruent, we can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. Let's apply these things in the practice. Go ahead and pause, make sure that you're drawing the figures and attempt these and then compare with my answers. On practice A, these two triangles are not congruent. So I put no, and then I added to this, these are similar figures because their side lengths are proportional. You can see that they were scaled by 2, like what we talked about similar figures earlier in the unit, but they are not congruent. On practice B, you are told that these are two congruent polygons. They're just rotated, and you're wanting to find the missing or the unknown angle measure. You do that by finding the corresponding angle. The X is in between the 80 and the 60 degree angles. So I look, and that's the 130 degree angle. Therefore, X equals 130 degrees.